Is this thing on?
They had a very bad original concept. It was carried out poorly, and the cover-up was one of the worst in the history of cover-ups. Very simple. Bad deal, should have never been thought of. Somebody really messed up, and they had the worst cover-up ever. And where it should have stopped is at the deal standpoint, when they thought about it, because whoever thought of that idea, I think is in big trouble.
Did you use the word smart? So you said you went to Delaware State, but you forgot the name of your college. You didn't go to Delaware State. You graduated either the lowest or almost the lowest in your class. Don't ever use the word smart with me. Don't ever use that word.
Oh, give me a break.
Because you know what? There's nothing smart about you, Joe.
Everybody comes in, your grandmother, everybody comes in, your grandmother, your father, your mother, your brother, your cousins.
Honestly, Sam, if I could just get the sentence out. We could talk about Jimmy Dore could go and kill 15 kids tomorrow, and I still believe in force the vote.
That was an opinion of somebody, and that was a retweet. I'll put it out there. People can decide for themselves. I don't take a position.
I'm about to be 34 and I have no family. Because my dad had 2 kids by the time he was 27.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. You know what the problem is, though? It's definitely not me.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's everybody else.
And he's like this, and we were, I need water, help me, I need water, help. Unbelievable.
He was a patriot, and the people left behind there were heroes.
Really?
And I resent.
Are you talking
like
about
hell.
Hunter? Are you talking about
I'm
Hunter?
talking about my son, Bo Biden. You're talking about
I don't know, Bo. I know Hunter.
Yeah,
Hunter
you know
got
Bo.
Hunter got thrown out of the military. He was thrown out, dishonorably discharged.
That's not true. He
For
wasn't dishonorably.
cocaine use, and he didn't have a job until you became vice president. Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ. No good. No good.
Who are you worried about? I'll tell you who I'm worried about. I'm worried about the fact that our workers are seeing a decline in their standard of living. They want to see our industry be rebuilt. That's what they want to see. No more B-2 bombers. No more Star Wars. Let's make the quality products we need. Let's invest in American industry. No, I won't yield.
$7 million for reef fish management. $25 million to combat Asian carp. $2.5 million to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico.
Oh, seriously, hot sauce. I've been eating a lot of hot sauce, a lot of raw peppers and hot sauce.
They're not not accountable to anyone. I get 10 to 12 million views a month, and they won't come out and address my progressive audience. They won't come out and address Bree's audience, or Katie's audience, or Justin Jackson, or you. They are not accountable to us. They're accountable to whoever the fuck themselves. Let's not kid ourselves. As Chris Hedges taught us a long time ago, the people attracted to politics are the most mediocre of people. They're not your friends. They are elected servants, and start fucking treating them that way.
I hear Brownie is seconding you in the background.
They're not your fucking friends. They're the people standing in between us and fucking healthcare. They're putting their fucking personal position ahead of that. Don't fucking forget that.
Who are you talking about with that, Jimmy?
I'm talking about anybody who's a progressive in Congress who isn't endorsing hashtag the vote. All those motherfuckers who didn't show up today at our town hall. Every fucking one of them is selling you out and canceling you for their own personal gain.
No, seriously, hot sauce. I've been eating a lot of hot sauce, a lot of raw peppers and hot sauce.
Get your words straight, Jack.
Honestly, Sam, if I could just get this sentence out. We can talk about Jimmy Dorf will go and kill 15 kids tomorrow, and I still believe in force the vote.
Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Can you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know.
I don't know who created Pokemon Go, but I'd try to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.
Get your words straight, Jack. Get your words straight, Jack. Get your words straight. Get your words. Get your words straight. Get your words. Get your words. Get your words straight, Jack. Get your words straight, Jack. 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 Get your words straight, Jack. Get your words. Get your words straight, Jack. 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 Jack.
It's not that they don't want to help. They don't know quite what to do. Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night. The phone. Make sure the kids hear word.
And this is just the beginning of America First.
Bad deal should have never been thought of, and where it should have stopped is at the deal standpoint when they thought about it.
They're not accountable to anyone. I get 10 to 12 million views a month. 10 to 12 million views a month. I get 10 to 12 million views a month. I get 10 to 12 million views a month. I get 10 to 12 million views a month.
Of that, and the woman dancing in the shoe with the money flying at her, at the bucket, and the whole thing. Now again, I'm not saying that shouldn't be allowed. She's got a wet pussy. What are you going to do about it? That's dead now. And the point is that we get rid of all of these things, and then we say, oh, but the woman with the leaking pussy, the woman with the leaking pussy, and with the leaking pussy, and with the leaking, but the woman with the leaking pussy, we say, oh, but the woman with the leaking pussy, and the bucket, and the mop, and the whole thing, and the girl dancing in the shoe that.
That was an opinion of somebody.
these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
This is the part where I awkwardly forget that I'm doing a live stream, and so as a result, I gotta set up the fucking microphone. That shit was flying in the sky because I got like the boom arm. Look at me, I'm a professional. Check this shit out. Right, look, it was flying in the sky. Like you couldn't fucking it was in the sky, dude. It was literally in the air. Like you couldn't even. But now it's not. It's actually still in the air, if you can believe it. It's right there. I don't know, is the sound quality any good? Like, it's typically not right here. It's actually typically right here is where I normally have it. We're back to the average, and that is to say the not good sound quality. This is not great, but, you know, it's better than nothing. I mean, seriously. I mean, it was up in the air. Speaking of up in the air, my YouTube career... No, I'm just kidding. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the motherfucking live show. This is Above It All, episode 1172 for the day of April 9th, 2021. And get the mic in the shot. It's not possible with my current setup. I may be switching my setup around in the coming weeks, just so y'all know. There's like, you know, a little family, it's not a situation, I don't even know if it's a situation, but it is involving me having the opportunity to move stuff around, and so I'm going to go ahead and do that probably in the next coming weeks. And so, there you go. So I might actually be able to have the mic in the shot, when I do some rearranging. And so, yeah, so, what does my shirt say? My shirt says this. Check it out, folks. Bada boom. There you go. Hunter Biden's favorite Pokemon, Squirtle. God bless. God bless. God bless. You sent me Kyle videos on Twitter, right? Okay. Let me look through those, you know. Let me look through them. Look through apparently Kyle's being a shithead according to... God, I have so many DMs that I haven't responded to. I feel so bad. See, now you've triggered me live on stream. Now I feel like a shithead, because now I'm the shithead. I don't respond to DMs as much as I should. I don't know if I'll do that today. If he does something else, you know? Oh, you have a new Twitter account. Wait, hold on. You have 2 Twitter accounts. Hold the phone, folks. Andrew, when did you get a second Twitter account? Hold the phone? Is everyone holding the phone? Holy shit. You have 2 Twitter accounts now? That's crazy, man. Okay, so apparently he said something else stupid. What is this? This is some bizarre direct messages I received. I got kicked out of the other one. That's weird. That's strange. I was listening to David Feldman. Apparently, it's not looking good for the Amazon Union. Really? I don't have any news on that, so feel free to forward me some. I've just been waiting on Good Morning Comrade for the scoops. They just DM me on Discord. It's like, here's the scoop. So I don't need to follow that stuff. Kyle is generally a crappy person. I don't know what he's saying here. This is yesterday apparently. So, okay, Andrew, you sent me 2 clips of Kyle Kulinski that seem to be the opposite of each other. And so that's weird. I'm just trying to figure this out. Like, I'm totally down to shit on Kyle Kulinski at this point in time. Like, I'm down. Like, you know, constructively, of course. Like, I'm a constructive critiquer, you know? So I'm totally down with that. But, so you sent me 2 clips entitled, and I might get to this later in the show, so I like doing the fellow YouTuber dunking later in the show, so I might do this later in the show. But you sent me 2 clips that are captioned. Now, again, these are captions, so who knows. Kyle Kulinski launches defeatist, misogynist attack on Representative Ocasio-Cortez, saying she's really not great of a leader for the movement. You act like a subservient little puppy dog, and they disrespect you anyway. And then the second clip you sent me is Secular Talk attacks AOC for saying that Ted Cruz incited violence against her at the Capitol. So, what? And then, quote, you need to not use the language of all my colleagues on the right are irredeemable deplorables. So somehow Kyle is saying when AOC attacks the right, that's bad. But when AOC attacks the right, that, you know, she should do it more, but it's bad? I don't know, that's weird. that seems directly at odds with each other. So yeah, I'll take a look at that later in the show. When I get more viewers. When we get like 60 viewers, I'll bump out the Kyle Kulinski critiques. How about that? As a fellow ski, you know, I do have a soft spot, I want to say. As a fellow ski, I ski, Kulinskis, you know, we're skis here, so I don't want to go after a fellow member of the ski clan, you know what I mean? But I will if I need to. Anyway, so hello everybody. I'm getting into it. No, I'll wait. I gotta finish my coffee and everything. Don't worry, it'll get better soon. It'll get better. A lung expert has testified at the Derek Chauvin trial. A lung expert. That's good news. Alright, like the stream, folks. This is the only option you've got at this point. So, just like the goddamn stream, honestly. Man, making me go after fellow members of the ski clan. It's not easy over here. It's not easy over here. One of David's regular guests asked a stupid turf-esque question. She's a reactionary in Bernie Stan clothing. David Feldman? Regular guests? Turf? That's not good. I don't like those words in the same sentence. Oh no. That's not good. Kyle has Italian and Polish ancestry. Yo, I am Italian, I am Polish, and I am German. An incredible concoction, folks. An incredible concoction. So that is the genetic makeup of me as a person. Yeah. So anyway, I got some news here, folks. So let's start off today. By talking about the really important gate going on. That's right, folks. There is a gate. The gate is open. It is not closed. It is wide open. Check it out. Matt Gaetz wants to date your child. Billboard goes up in Florida. Now, you know, I think billboards are really, like, I think people make a lot of, like, a huge display over them. And in reality, not many people see them. If they do, they don't really pay that much attention to them. But, that being said, they can be really fucking funny, right? And so, this is really fucking funny. I love this, how date is in quotations. That's amazing. It's just really fucking good. Alright, so let's read. This is from Business Insider. Yo, Business Insider's talking about Bitcoin. I love it. This crypto trading strategy of a billionaire with 10% daily returns. Imagine making 10% of $1 billion every single day. God bless America. A billboard emblazoned with Matt Gaetz wants to date your child has gone up in Florida, trolling the beleaguered Florida lawmaker for his federal sex trafficking investigation. The billboards were paid for by a liberal political action committee, PAC, called Mad Dog. Woof, woof. Local media outlet Northwest Florida Daily News reported that the billboard is located on State Road 85, a busy north-south highway near Hub City Center in Crestview, Florida. Rep. Gaetz has spent the last weeks grappling with the biggest political scandal of his career, as he is currently the subject of a Justice Department probe into whether he paid for a 17-year-old to travel with and have sex with him. So I've got some more news on that as well. Here's a video. That's pretty funny. I mean, it's really funny. Again, billboards, I don't think they move the needle that much, but they're really funny. So, like, I'm all about that comedy. Gaetz has since emphatically denied. Who cares? Gaetz also starred in previous Mad Dog billboards in Florida. One went up in 2018 that said, Rep Gaetz, know how many DUIs have you had? The voters deserve to know, featuring Gaetz' mugshot from his 2008 DUI. Another, which went up in 2019, featured Gaetz' mugshot and displayed the words GOP integrated with the hammer and sickle of the Soviet Union's flag. What the fuck? Again, this group is not sending their best. But yeah, so I've got another Bill Gates story coming up. Bill Gates, Matt Gaetz. I fucking wow. I mean, hey, okay, it's possible, right? But I got another Matt Gaetz story coming up in just a second here. But I got a phone call, so I'm gonna go ahead and answer that real quick. So just give me. Woo! Man, that's incredible. I've been having a little bit of some ping pong issues with my medical professionals. And it seems that that's just been solved. So they just called me back. And it seems that that problem has been solved. So that's massive anxiety reliever right there. Hot dog. All right. Bodan is here. The main character has arrived. Bodan, you've inspired me. I want you to know this, Bodan. Everyone. Bodan has inspired me. I think I'm going to... I'm not going to reveal any information, actually. I'm just going to leave it there. Leave it there. Bodan has inspired me. So I'm even going to make Bodan wonder what that means. But I've got a project coming. It's in the works. And let me just tell you, Bodan has inspired this project. Congrats. Playing phone tag with hospitals is the worst. It is the absolute worst. Especially being a trans person in North Carolina. Lord have mercy, right? Like, it's a huge problem. But it looks like they called me back, and it seems that I'm good to go. It seems. So, we'll see. But, that puts me in a good-ass mood. I'm sorry I missed some chat messages. What did I miss? Feel free to repost, if I missed something. Oh, $5 super chat. We can also have a cool option of a super chat. Wait, where is my superhero costume? Where? Lol. A cool option. You know what the coolest option would be, though, is PayPal, because there's no fees. But, I'm just... Please bear with me. If I only inspired you by my shitty comments, then I've got news for you. Soon, very soon, I'm going to inspire you way more. Bodan, do you have good comments coming up? Because Bodan, let me just... You know what? I'm going to go into this. Because Bodan has been a fierce critic, folks. A fierce critic of me as a person. So I'm going to go into this. Let me look for some Bodan comments. All right, so folks, Bodan has commented on one of my Doom videos. I understand. Now, I want, for context, Ancient Aliens and Memento Mori are Doom level packs that I've played probably hundreds of times each. And they are some of my favorites. So, Bodan says, I understand that Ancient Aliens and Memento Mori are great WODs, and you have to return to those over and over again, but forcing yourself to experience nothing new for the rest of your life and ignoring all those cool new WODs coming out is just stupid. It's stupid. I love that. This is so good. It's just stupid, period, space. It's stupid, period, space. Both in regards to yourself and to your viewers, entertainment-wise. Your life is finite, so don't put yourself and your viewers into new WOD's starvation position, this motherfucker. I can't, dude. I can't with this motherfucker. Like, the best comments, dude. Like, in fact, I'm gonna take a screenshot of this because, like, you really do need to see, like, the absolute, like, audacity of this motherfucker. Right? So look at this guy. It's just stupid, right? It's stupid. Like this motherfucker is calling me stupid. Playing my favorite games over and over and over again is not only is it stupid, it's just stupid, period, space. It's stupid. It's double stupid. It's a double dip. And so Bodan has inspired me. So I just want to let everyone know, Bodan has been very critical of my videographic series in regards to the video game Doom and adjacent level packs. I have been under a lot of hefty fire, and I read the criticism. I do read it. I integrate it into my personality and my personhood, and I take it seriously. So. Thank you, Bob. Thank you. That's so perfect. Thank you. Thank you.
So stupid. So stupid. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, Lord have motherfuck. All right. Y'all ready for part 2 of Gatesgate? Because I am. Realon is leaving. Hello, users. Enjoy the show. Off to do some afternoon fish. All right, Realon, you have a good day. I'm sorry if I missed messages. I was on the phone and then all that. But hey, Matt, what's up? I'm trying to scroll up. What's up? Hello, everyone. So yeah, let me drink some coffee. Wait. Some gaseous material was collapsing my lung for a second there. Wait. All right. Okay. I think we're good. All right. Folks. We have a new Rational Nation friend from here. Do we? What's up? How's it going? Rational Nation. Fucking nation. God. Imagine. You need a co-host who just reads chat like Dor has. I need a hype man. That's what I need. I need someone who's just sitting in the background. So whenever I say something, like they go like, yeah, mm-hmm, yeah. That's what I need. Because that's what Jimmy Dore has. Remember when I covered that one segment? Jimmy Dore's got so many hype men in his crew. You know what I mean? Like, you look to the wife, right? And then she's like, mm-hmm, yep. And then that guy on Zoom is like, yeah, yep, bad joke, yep, right? And then, it's just like, and then they've got the guest, right? Is it Glenn Greenwald today? Who knows, right? They got the guest who's like, yep, I agree with that. Yep, I loved your show, Jimmy. It's like, imagine being surrounded by a hype man over and over again. Like, it's just, I need one of those, man. Bodan, by the way, tell me about Ancient Alien Show. What is it about? Maybe I'll watch it. Ancient Alien Show is basically... Now, I highly recommend... Now, Bodan, you said you don't like drugs. I highly recommend making an exception. If you watch Ancient Aliens while under any sort of drug, like even alcohol, I've watched Ancient Aliens while I was drunk. It's so fun. Don't watch it sober. You don't watch Ancient Aliens while you're sober. Otherwise, you turn into a crazy person. But if you're drunk... Right? If you're high, right? Watch Ancient Aliens. Basically, the show is about a bunch of crazy people saying that aliens created the whole Earth and all like the great monuments, like, you know, the pyramids in both Egypt and like, you know, South America and stuff like that. It's an amazing program full of like awesome conspiracy theories. And again, I know like we live in a world where conspiracy theories are looked down on like, you know, with the right wing and everything. But we have to really understand like old-fashioned conspiracy theories are awesome. Like, a lot of people say Ancient Aliens is racist. Like, they make the claim that it's like, oh, they only think it's aliens because non-white people are, you know, ancient civilizations. I disagree with that. To be honest. I think that that's a very silly criticism because, one, imagine taking that shit seriously, and then 2, it's extremely funny, and then 3, smoke some weed. I'm sorry. If you are smoking weed watching Ancient Aliens and you come out thinking the show is racist, I mean, honestly, like, at that point, I mean, fuck, you know? But that's my position. Ancient Aliens is really fun television. Just look at it for what it is. It's popcorn, entertainment. You're just watching a bunch of crazy people say crazy shit, and it's just fun. It has nothing to do with them trying to kill you. It has nothing to do with them trying to destroy democracy. It has nothing to do with them not believing in germs and a global pandemic. It's just a bunch of crazy people thinking aliens were here, and it's awesome. It's awesome. It's awesome. If people can believe in sky daddies, I personally, like, to be 100%, I think believing in the ancient astronaut theory is far more logical than being a Christian. You know, I by miles and away, I respect ancient aliens conspiracists way more than any religious person on the planet. By, like, orders of magnitude, motherfucker. Like, we're talking about, like, you know, like a cliff here on levels of intellectual respect. Because I'd like to try some marijuana, but I don't know where to get some. Complete uncharted territory. Bowden! I love this guy. By the way, I just want to say, don't do drugs. Illegal drugs especially can be very damaging for you. Breaking the law is a serious thing. You should not do it. I am a comedian. I am a jokester. I make jokes here. I would never intend on anyone else getting into legal or physical or medical trouble whatsoever based on my words, so I want to be very clear. That being said, Bowden! Hell yes! My God! Come get it, dude. I love weed, bro. It's amazing. Thoughts on flat earth debates? Same thing. It's the same thing with, like, fucking, like, creationism. Like, if you want to, like, tell me that creationism is real and not teach me evolution in school, alright. Okay, now I have a problem. But if you're going on making a YouTube video and you're like, God and the talking snake created the elephant in its perfect form, right? I'm like, first of all, yes, elephants are perfect. Second of all, what? Right? So, like, that's the kind of same, like, way I view Ancient Aliens. But I respect Ancient Aliens more because Ancient Aliens are at least trying to uncover a mystery, right? Like, the thing I love about Ancient Aliens, the show, is that they treat Christianity, the Bible, right, and that kind of stuff as, like, not a holy book, but just a book. You know, that's what I love about it. Bro, I could go on for this forever. But, like they talk about, like, in the Christian Bible, people say this. What that really might mean is aliens. And I'm like, the idea that they will use the Bible for their conspiracy, I love it. I love Ancient Aliens, man. I'm sorry. Like, again, you don't have to believe in everything. You don't have to take everything at face value. It can just be entertaining. And that's how I view that shit. So, those are my guilty pleasures. The Real Housewives, Ancient Aliens, that's my shit right there. I will admit to it. I will feel slightly guilty about it, but I will defend it to the death as far as entertainment value. Ancient Alien theories are fun, but the show definitely is problematic with hints of racism. I mean, you can say it's problematic, sure. But to say that, like, I mean, I'm sorry, I just don't buy, like, to say that believing in aliens makes you a racist, I'm sorry, that's just a huge stretch. And I think people promote that idea without thinking about it too often. Because, I've been having conversations with people, and they say, oh, you believe in UFOs? That makes you a racist. Like, I'm sorry, like, if you think that, I mean, like, genuinely consider therapy. I mean, and I'm trying to be nice here. But, like, my lord, man. It's just fucking a bunch of dumbasses having fun. Maxie! Max! He's licking himself. Look, he's stuck in a pretzel. stuck in a pretzel. The idea that it's racist, Zero PE, is that ancient civilizations could never build the pyramids because they weren't white. That's what people postulate as to why people believe that aliens exist. It's not because, oh, I don't know, they want to believe in aliens because aliens are cool and they come up with any example that they can to fit into their theory. No. It's because they're secretly racist. I'm sorry, this is where I become a little bit of an anti-SJW when it comes to people calling ancient aliens racist. I'm sorry, man. Like, I know. I get a little too much on there. But as an Ancient Aliens fan, I've been criticized one too many times. But, you know, what are you gonna do? We got Max the dog backing me up from the background. This is the problem. I need a hype man going in there. Like, where's my Ron Plincone who's just like, yep, no way. You're right. I need that guy in the background. Why I left the left. Too many people called Ancient Aliens racist. Oh my god. I know, I'm canceled, folks. I'm canceled. Elephants are amazing. I just want to say elephants are... With dogs on one hand, elephants on the other. That is my spirit animal. I am a dog elephant. An elephant dog. Like from Avatar. Do they have elephant dogs? I don't know. But, you know, it's like Avatar, you know, where they mix the animals. Opinions on Ryan Knight. I actually have a Ryan Knight segment coming up very soon. But, you know. Here's the scoop, though. We are the first intelligent life in the universe. Proof. Average IQ of humans. Oh, yes. That's for sure. I mean, that's the thing. Conspiracies that don't impact your everyday life are just fun, dude. Like, that's what people really need to realize, is that they're just fun. Like, conspiracy theories are like jigsaw puzzles. Like, okay, your conspiracy is aliens were here on Earth before this moment in time. That's your conclusion, right? And then what is your entire jigsaw puzzle? The entirety of human history. So you get to put all the pieces together in any fashion that you so choose to create aliens. It's amazing. It's awesome, dude. It's kind of clear that the ancient Egyptians were first. Giorgio is not seeing these artifacts that are originals. Saying our ancestors are from another planet isn't offensive. They had science. No, I mean, I agree. When I say crazy people, that does not mean that I am insulting these people on every level. I'm just saying that their fundamental beliefs are I don't agree with them. That being said, I love Giorgio on Twitter. Have y'all seen Giorgio, the Ancient Aliens guy on Twitter? Hold up. I'm sorry, I'm just going to a total, I'm a total fan right now of this guy. He's awesome. I just love his Twitter. His Twitter, like, when the pandemic began, was just him making fun of anti-maskers, like, all day, every day. Like, it's just amazing. Let me look at this guy's Twitter, see if I can find any good ones. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Is Giorgio coming out anti-Musk? Anti-Musk action from based Giorgio. For 2 years, I have been asked about the UFO validity of images such as this. These are Starlink satellites. I know, it has become confusing. Blame Musk and the people in charge who allow for satellite pollution of our planetary night skies. Flummoxed that there is no oversight. Anti-Musk action from Giorgio. Yo, I love this guy. Imagine thinking Giorgio is a racist. I'm sorry, no way. No can do, buddy. Giorgio is anti-Musk action. You gotta love that guy. Love him. And that's just like 2 days ago. He said that 2 days ago, so he's actively based. Anyway, speaking of people that are not actively based, let's get on with this Gaetz story. I know, that was a really long, I was going to do these two stories back to back, and then I got, shifted there. Anti-mask and anti-Musk. See, exactly. I use purple Twitter. I switch it up every month or so. I like to keep it fresh. Yep. Thank you. I love that guy, man. Yo. Somebody. I gotta get Giorgio on my show. Can we do it? Is this possible? Can we achieve this? Can we achieve Giorgio on my show? Is that possible? Can we, like, is this, how many followers does this guy have? 180,000. Could I possibly get Giorgio on Above It All? Is it possible? Like, is it too out of, like, I mean, I think I could. I feel like I could. Maybe not right now. Maybe, like, I don't know, 6 months from now. Like, maybe right now. I don't know. Maybe everyone should just tweet at Giorgio and say, hey, you should come on the Above It All show. Like, it's very possible. All right, folks, we've got a goal for 2021. We've got a goal. Get Giorgio on the show. Anyway, let's get into the Matt Gaetz gate. All right, folks. So, Gaetz gate, it's getting worse. It's getting worse. Can you believe it? So, it's already been pretty bad. Like, let's be honest here, folks. This scandal started off pretty much as bad as you can get. And then somehow, right, it gets even worse. The Cash App receipts, right? The 17-year-olds, the hotel rooms, the plane tickets. It's really, really, in the words of our former president,
not good. Believe me, not good.
It's not a good situation to be in. So, now what's even more interesting is the Gaetz' associate, who, as far as I'm aware, may or may not be working with the feds now to rat out Matt Gaetz, so this should be funny. Gaetz paid accused sex trafficker who then Venmo'd a teenager. That's no good, right? Like, that's not good, right? On the level of, like, 1 to not good, it's
no good, really bad for you.
Like, it's really bad. So let's read. In 2 late-night Venmo transactions in May 2018, Representative Matt Gaetz sent his friend, the accused sex trafficker Joel Greenberg. I love that sentence, by the way. That sentence. Matt Gaetz sent his friend, the accused sex trafficker. Sometimes English is just so fucking perfect. $900. The next morning, over the course of 8 minutes... Yo, the writing style. I can't with this fucking writing style. The next morning, over the course of 8 minutes, Greenberg used the same app to send 3 young women varying sums of money. In total, the transactions amounted to $900. That's crazy. The memo field for the first of Gaetz' transactions to Greenberg was titled Test. A classic. In the second, the Florida GOP congressman wrote, quote, hit up _ But instead of a blank, Gaetz wrote a nickname for one of the recipients. Why would you write that? Seriously, why would you write that on a fucking cash transaction? Like, it's not like you're going to the fucking Kmart and buying a blender, motherfucker. Like, you're engaging in illegal activity. Like, again, the GOP, Republican members of Congress, are dumb motherfuckers. These guys are some dumb motherfuckers. Like, seriously, I mean, goddamn. Like, fuck me. I just, like, so stupid. The Daily Beast is not sharing the nickname. Yeah. When Greenberg then made his Venmo payments to these young women, he described the money as being for, quote, tuition, school, and school. What the fuck? The Daily Beast examined those records as a scandal, rooted in a criminal case against Greenberg engulfs Gaetz. Yes, I think I messed up a pronunciation of a word there, but Greenberg, the former Seminole County tax collector. I love that he's a tax collector. Like, what is this? Like, remember when he had this, like, weird voicemail that he left on someone, and he's like, it's your favorite tax collector here. It's like, imagine, like, identifying as a tax collector. Like, I'll identify as a YouTuber, right? It's kind of embarrassing, right? If I'm in, like, a social situation and you know, people ask, hey, what do you do? I feel slightly embarrassed, right? But I'll say, like, yeah, you know what? I'm a YouTuber. But imagine someone asking you what you're doing, and you're just like, I'm a tax collector. It's like, all right. I mean, cool. Anyway, has now been federally indicted on 33 counts, including sex trafficking crimes involving a 17-year-old. Court documents say Greenberg was, quote, engaged in sugar daddy relationships. Jesus Christ. And the New York Times says a Justice Department investigation is looking into Gaetz' involvement in the cash for sex ring. Lord have motherfucking mercy. Gaetz and Greenberg are both connected through Venmo to this then 18-year-old woman who now works in the porn industry. I have no problem with that, for reference. According to a friend of the girl. And on Thursday, Greenberg's attorney and prosecutors indicated during a court hearing that they expected Greenberg to strike a plea deal likely meaning he plans to cooperate with investigators. Now, again, 18-year-old, works in the porn industry. I don't give a shit. I have no care in the world whatsoever. Unless they groomed this person. Like if you're 18 and these people have a history of paying 17-year-olds and they may have groomed someone and then maybe started paying them when they're 18, that's still a huge problem. But as far as I'm concerned, the idea that they're in the porn industry, don't give a fuck. The idea that he paid an 18-year-old, I barely give a fuck. Unless it's indicative of grooming and that other sort of thing. This week, during the reporting of the story, Gaetz' once public list of Venmo transactions disappeared. Oh shit. Greenberg's Venmo account is not currently publicly accessible, but the Daily Beast was able to obtain partial records of Greenberg's past online transactions through a source. Greenberg and Gaetz are also connected on Venmo to at least one other woman that Greenberg paid with taxpayer funds using a government-issued credit card. Everyone's favorite tax collector, right? Seminole County auditors flagged hundreds of those payments as questioned or unaccounted for, and in total found more than $300,000 in suspicious or unjustified expenses. The Daily Beast was able to obtain the credit card data through a public records request. Imagine. Like, these people. No one has any idea what he was doing. Zero, said Daniel J. O'Keefe, an accountant who conducted a forensic audit of the county. The arrogance of these guys. They just felt like they were above the law. I've never seen it this bad. You can read the rest of that if you want here. This is a good quote. I'm sure Matt Gaetz is not feeling very comfortable today, Scheller said. Anyway, so that's the kind of situation we're at right now. Not good. Again, in the words of our former president,
no good. No good.
It's just a really bad situation. So, and again, I want to be very explicit that the idea that someone working in the porn industry is something to be fear-mongering about, not my thing. So I just want to be very explicit about that. Because I've seen a lot of Twitter posts about how, like, oh, look at this person, you know, like, thinking like that's somehow, like, paying someone who's in the sex industry is somehow as bad as paying, like, an actual child. You know, like, I'm sorry, like, those are not equivalent in my mind, so I just want to be very explicit about that. Yeah, so that is the situation with Gaetzgate continued, part 24. Yeah, fucking good morning, comrade. I'm sorry. Yeah? Uh-huh. I enjoy that you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, you're doing it at perfect times, too. Like, when there's, like, a small break, right, in what I'm thinking, where, like, I'm on a roll, but the roll starts to slow down. Like, you start to notice the patter of, like, a tire getting blown out, right? That's where you swoop in. That's where you come in. You go, like, yup. Mm-hmm. And then you it's like recharging that blown out tire in real time. So I can claim my expenses for prostitutes on my tax form? I guess so. I know what I'm doing in April. It's actually April right now. That's incredible. Oh. Oh, Lord have mercy on my goddamn motherfucking soul. Alright, folks. So I've got one more clip, and then we'll get into the punching down segment of the stream where I attack lefties on the internet. But before that, I'm going to attack a Fox News host, because this is really funny. So let me cue this clip up, and then say hello to the chat room. Hello, chat room. Alright, let's move on. So, there was apparently a debate, that's right, folks, an exchange of ideas, presumably in the battlefield and or the marketplace of the aforementioned ideas. There was a debate on the BBC with whomever this is. I'm sorry, I don't know who this person is. And some Fox News guy whom I don't know. I know their name is in the clip here, but I just don't care or know anything about them. But their reaction to being called out on bullshit was extremely funny. So let's watch this together now.
Because I think it's really rich for any Republican, especially a white man, to run around and claim that they care about the economic condition of black communities and black businesses when that's all a lie. Okay, there's nothing in their policies. Just please let her finish that they've done. The other thing is
that's not fair. I love this guy. I've seen this guy's face before, but I don't know who he is. But this guy is like, that's not fair. Like he's about to rage quit off the whole thing. It's extremely funny. Let's
that they've done. The other thing is that I don't work for the Biden administration.
Eric, I'm so sorry. We can't hear you. I'm going to let Aisha finish.
I don't work for the Biden administration, never have. But what I am is a black person in America. And everything that these voting laws stand for and what they look like are reminiscent to the Jim Crow policies that my family's lived under. Every single thing about it. So this is all about racial discrimination. And how dare you try to act like you are somehow...
I just want to say, I don't know who this is, but like, shout outs to this person. Because, like, imagine going on there and then just fucking, like, destroying this guy so hard. Like, again, this guy is getting demolished. This guy has probably never been demolished in live television this hard before. So, like, this is pretty good fucking stuff. But just wait for it. The meltdown here is going to be tremendous. So just wait for it.
About racial discrimination.
Listen clearly.
And how dare you try to act like you are somehow a proponent of black people and businesses just to make a point and to try to create a wedge. It's ignorant. And it's just disrespectful.
That's disgusting. I'm done. Put me off. That's disgusting. I am nowhere anything you're painting me to be. And the problem with American
politics... Look at this guy's
politics,
hands, by the way. Like, this guy, like, look at his hands. They're so meaty. I'm not, like, trying to, like, you know, like, get away from the context here, but, like, look at this guy's fucking hands, man. Like, what is going on there? Like, Jesus Christ. Like, I feel like this guy's hands are, like, 3 times the size of mine. Like, my God, like, look at my hand, right? And then look at that guy's hands. Like, what the hell? All right, let's watch.
To create a wedge. It's ignorant and it's just disrespectful.
That's disgusting. I'm done. Put me off. That's disgusting. I am nowhere anything you're painting me to be. And the problem with American politics is exactly that. Because I'm white, you think I'm racist. That's BS. I'm done.
Will you just stay, Eric? Will you just stay for this question?
Like, it's one thing. Like, this is what right wingers love to do. They love to cry. They love to whine. They love to rage. They love to rage. This is their thing. They pretend to be victims and snowflakes. Like, again, the whole, like, whining snowflake bullshit is all projection. The right wingers are the biggest snowflakes in the history of snowflakes. These are the same guys that tried to ban rock and roll music. Like, bitch, motherfucker, what? Right? But, like, it's one thing. If you want to, like, cry and whine and say, that's disgusting, what you just said is gross, like, be vague, right? But then when this guy says, you think because I'm white, I'm racist, that's, like, when you start revealing too much, right? Like, right, you just start revealing a little bit too much, because that's not what this person said. Any person who watches this interview is going to know that that's not what this person said, and you just make yourself look like a goofball, right? If you want to try to make yourself not look like that much of a goofball, you say, that's disgusting, what you just said is outrageous, and like, you know, you leave and keep it vague. That way no one knows what the hell you're crying about. People will, like, kind of, like, talk amongst each other. What triggered him so much? Who knows? They won't know. But then when you just make the weirdo false claim and then say that that's why you're triggered, that's not true when no one said that, I mean, like, you start to lose the credibility there. I mean, I'm just
because
saying.
I'm white, you think I'm racist? That's BS. I'm done.
Will you just stay, Eric? Will you just stay for this question? So the question we've got, Aisha, is stay for one question, Eric.
I'm done. He comes back.
Let me put this to you because
I don't know why I'm staying here. I don't know why. I need an apology.
Let me put to you the question that Mitch McConnell was saying.
For being offended. No.
Aisha, okay. I think we've lost Eric.
I can't, dude. I can't. I just want to be very honest. I did not watch the last 5 seconds. I did not watch the last 5 seconds until just now. The last 5 seconds is honestly better than the rest of the clip. The last 5 seconds is amazing. All right.
I'm not.
Mitch McConnell was saying
for being offended. No.
Aisha, okay.
This fucking snowflake bitch, right? Like, is like, I don't know why I'm back here. Apologize to me. Apologize to me right now. And then she's like, no. And he's like, all right, I'm gone. And then the host, the precious host.
I think we've lost Eric.
I can't, dude. I can't. I can't. I won't. I can't do that, man. That's too much for me, man. That's incredible stuff. I just apologize to me right now. Like, that's so funny. Oh man, I gotta watch it again. I'm sorry, I just gotta watch it again. Okay.
White, you think I'm racist? That's BS. I'm done.
Will you just stay, Eric? Will you just stay for this question? So the question we've got, Aisha, is stay for one question, Eric. Let me put this to you because
I don't know why I'm staying here. I don't know why.
Can I get an apology?
Let me put to you the question that Mitch McConnell was saying.
For being offended. No.
Aisha, okay.
I'm done.
I think we've lost Eric.
My God. My God. My God, man. What an incredible moment in human history. Like, to be... Oh, incredible. Oh, God damn. But that was a great segment. I just want to say, like, I'm on a roll today. Like, that was a really good segment. Like, that was, like, really good. Like, I mean, I'm feeling, like, confident right now with my ability to speak English live on camera. So, I don't know. It's cool. Eric is trying to be Pierce Morgan and failed miserably. I mean, that was definitely more than miserably. Like, that was really bad. Like, that was really bad. Wow. Do you like the Sega CD? I do not like any Sega console. It's not my thing. I know I'm about to offend a lot of people here. And this is I know. Brace for impact. So I identify as a millennial. Now, for those of you that don't know, I was born in 1996. Halfway through 1996, I was created. I was birthed into the world. And so that puts me like smack dab on the cutoff for Generation Z and millennials. So because I was raised in poverty, right, I could not afford new things like a PlayStation 2. I didn't get one of those until 2003 or something, 2004, right? So I played a lot of PS1 games. I played a lot of old stuff. I watched a lot of like reruns and VHS tapes of like 90s stuff. So I identify as a millennial because a lot of my cultural upbringing is from things that are slightly before my time. So that being said, I had no idea Sega made consoles. I know. Can you imagine? I had no idea Sega made consoles until I was like 15 years old. Like until like 2010, I just had no clue. No fucking clue in the world, man. And so like I know, man. I'm just saying. So I'm just throwing that out there. No fucking clue. I just missed that whole thing. Because I was on PS1, PS1, I played some Super Nintendo, I played some PC games, early 90s, late 80s PC games. But never heard of Sega consoles. Never heard of them. Never heard of the Dreamcast. Nope. I know, it's my one big, it's a huge problem. I know. When I first discovered that Sega made consoles, man, I was like blown away. I was like, what the hell? Are you kidding me? How did I not know this? It was crazy. It was nuts. It was out of control. I know, it's a huge problem. But we all have our little quirks, I also didn't drink coffee until I was 22 years old. Right? 23 actually. 23. Didn't drink coffee till I was 23 years old. Can you imagine that? I'm 24 for reference at this current moment in time. I'm 24 for reference. Didn't start drinking coffee till I was 23. What? That's crazy. Now I drink it all the fucking time. I can't stop. I can't fucking stop. It's crazy, man. But yeah, so this is the part of the Fucking I can't with that. You gotta stop. Oh my lord. Fucking yep. I'm too old for any of this to mean anything. Please stop. You're hurting me. I was 13 years old in 1996. Please stop. You're hurting me. I was maybe 5 when I played them at someone's house. Please stop. You're hurting me. I'm about to be 25 and I have no family. Please stop. You're hurting me. Full disclosure. Trying our best here, folks. Strange. That's bizarre behavior. I don't know why that occurs. Anyway, folks, you missed the story. I was just telling a story, and guess what? You missed it. So, what are you going to do, right? Isn't that crazy? Like, you're going to have to listen to the audio podcast when I upload that in, like, 2 weeks. If you want to hear that story of why I didn't drink coffee until I was 23. So, think about that. That was an exclusive. Fuck you. Anyway, so we're going to get into the part where I harass fellow left-wingers. I'm going to be punching down on multimillionaires. I don't know who to start with. So I've got queued up right now. Like, I know this is the second, welcome to the second hour of Above It All, folks. So queued up, I've got Kyle Kulinski, I've got Ryan Knight, I've got Jimmy Dore, and Glenn Greenwald. Like, I've got, like, clips of each of these motherfuckers, all being stupid independently. They're all being stupid in their own world. It's crazy. It's crazy. I've got these, like, they all happened at the same time. Like, they're all independently dumb, and, like, the stars aligned where they're all in the show notes at the same time. So I'm going to go through all of them. I'm going to just get through them. This is a classic, like, you know, this is left punching. We're punching down. Like, we're punching down right now, folks. Like, that's what you have to understand. We are punching down on multimillionaires. So I want, like, real quick, like, just, you know, just as for, okay, just to you know, for my ego purposes, and because it could be funny, I think what y'all should do right now, is tweet, like, you know, if you've got a Twitter account, if anyone follows your Twitter account, tweet out a link to my show and that I'm left punching, you know, tweet out that, like, I'm going after fellow leftists, you know, see what happens. I love doing, social experiments. I'm gonna start, I think, titling my Jimmy Dore and other adjacent criticism videos as, like, neutral in the video titles, so that I get more people who might click the video thinking I'm praising them and then getting triggered. I love doing that kind of stuff. So yeah, feel free. But anyway, so I've got this clip here, and this is, let me just tell you, this is one hell of a clip. So I'd like to start this segment, and I've got a clip here from Jimmy Dore. I'd like to start this segment by giving some wise words of a former president of the United States, because I really think that the following quote really sums up this 2-minute clip here, this excerpt.
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
All right, folks. So this is a clip of Jimothy Dore, Jimbo Dumbo, and Glenn Greenwald, who is also extremely, very, very much so a bad person. And, oh, you might be triggered. You might be in the comment section. How dare you? Well, I'll tell you why. Don't worry. So this clip it's baffling, folks. This one is, again, you know, it's a real, like, for your mental and physical well-being, this clip, I
no
mean,
good, really bad for you.
It's not a good situation to be in a world where this clip enters your auditory and visual sensory, you know, location. So let's watch Jimmy Dore. I don't even know how to intro this, so let's watch.
A silver lining for me is that show that's popular and successful, and I get to sell out theaters now because people at the New York Times, Washington Post, now The Intercept, they all suck so horribly that I can do a better job than them. Hi. And I do.
So, okay, with that being said, I just, like, my problem with this clip, and I have a very large problem with this clip, and my problem, first and foremost, is that he is comparing himself to fucking journalistic outlets. Like, he is not comparing himself to commentators. He's not comparing himself to Above It All. Like, oh, I do such a good job that, you know, I'm way better than Above It All. I'm way better than, you know, because obviously Jimmy Dore thinks about me and being better than me. But my problem with this clip is, again, he's comparing himself to journalists. He is not a journalist. He is a talk show person. He is a host of a talk show, right? So I don't like the idea that he can be better than someone who does investigative reporting. I just don't know what that means. That's like saying, oh, well, I'm better than every basketball player in the world. Why? Well, because I've got 20 people watching my YouTube show, so that makes me better than these other people that work in a different industry. Like, it's like, what the fuck? It's bizarre. It really is a tremendously bizarre situation. And then the other thing is he said, oh, I'm just a jag-off pothead comedian. Well, I've got news for you. You're not the only jag-off pothead comedian. In fact, I'm about to put pot in my head right now, which I do not endorse because it kills kids. As we learned from the governor of Nebraska, if you do weed, it will kill your kids. That being said, let's restart this clip and then listen to it in depth while I pack this bowl, man.
A silver lining for me is that I get to have a show that's popular and successful, and I get to sell out theaters now because people at the New York Times, Washington Post, now The Intercept, they all suck so horribly that I can do a better job than them. Hi. And
now, wait, I'm sorry, I have to pause. Because Glenn Greenwald here, now I said this earlier in my show, but for those watching the segment, what a lot of these podcasters do, like Jimmy Dore, for example, excels at this, is he has a hype man in his show. Like, whenever he's talking to someone, that person will always agree with everything he says. So look at what Jimmy Dore is about, or what Glenn Greenwald is about to do. Look at what Glenn Greenwald is about to do, right? Glenn Greenwald's role, he's being interviewed, but his role at this current moment in the podcast is to be the hype man. So let's watch.
It doesn't take much.
Well, and let me just say, because I see your show a lot. I'm not trying to return compliments. I just want to make this point, with your show. I watch your show. I don't watch it all the time. I watch it a lot. And
so what does Glenn Greenwald do immediately? He's the hype man. It's like, I'm not trying to just return compliments here, but I watch your show, Jimmy. I love your show. Your show is amazing. All the investigative journalism you do by sitting in your chair and talking about how much you hate AOC, that's good stuff. That's great investigative reporting. Like, Glenn Greenwald is, I disagree with him as a commentator. I think he's a garbage political pundit. As far as political pundits are concerned, I think he is trash. I'm talking about F tier, maybe D tier at the best. The guy is garbage when it comes to punditry. But Glenn Greenwald, as an investigative reporter, pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. As an investigative reporter, the guy he's done some really impressive work in his life, and you can't take that away from him. So, the idea that Glenn Greenwald is just going to let Jimmy Dore compare himself to investigative reporters, I mean, while he himself is an investigative reporter, it's curious. It's interesting.
And, I think that, I used to get this all the time, ironically, people, these journalists who, call up the CIA and then publish what they're told to say by saying a CIA, operative told
And just a reminder, I want to give everyone a reminder that I believe Jimmy Dore got an $8,000 gift. He got a gift from the Syrian government. $8,000. It was a gift. Just, we're buddies. We used to go to high school together, and, we're buddies. It was just a gift. That's what he said on his show. I think I made a video about that a couple of months ago. But Jimmy Dore went on his show, and someone was like, people keep saying I'm owned by the Syrian government, but all they did was send me a gift. Yeah, he just got a gift. And then coincidentally just said exactly what they wanted him to. But hey, Glenn Greenwald is about to talk about something that's totally not relevant to Jimmy Dore.
Told to say by saying a CIA, operative told me anonymously, and they think that's real reporting. And they would say, I don't do real reporting. I do media criticism.
Yeah.
As though that's something different. To me, if you.
So, Glenn Greenwald just said that there is no difference between media criticism and investigative journalism. What? I'm just saying, what? I'm so confused right here. I'm so confused. So media criticism is the same as fact gathering. So me calling someone on the phone, right? Let's say someone got shot and I called their neighbor and saying, hey, neighbor, what happened? What's the scoop? That is the same thing as going on my show and saying, Don Lemon said something I disagree with, and here's why. Those are equivalent activities in the realm of politics. And to these people, they think that. Do they actually, or are they just saying words here? I don't know.
Dissect what media propaganda is, and you show why it's propagandistic and deceitful and baseless and manipulative and wrong. That is reporting. That's real reporting. You're showing the public why and how the dominant messaging that they're receiving that's being transmitted to them by the most powerful institutions is misleading them, because you're showing them what the actual truth is, or at least what there's no evidence to believe. And
I just want to say, for the record, I do agree with media criticism. I do media criticism on my show all the time. If I'm reading an article from any outlet and I disagree with the way things are worded, I will be very explicit with my disagreement. Like, for example, earlier today, I was reading a piece about Matt Gaetz, and they tried to, like, throw in that he, his friend paid off someone in the porn industry or something. I was like, I don't care about that. Who cares? What I care about is him being involved in sex trafficking, not him paying people that are gainfully employed. I don't care about that. Now, if it's sex trafficking, that's a problem. If it's someone consensually doing what they want to do with their time and with their life, I have no issue with that. So again, media criticism is extremely important. But investigative journalism, fact-finding, and media criticism are different games. They are not the same. For Jimmy Dore to compare himself to someone who's actually calling people, actually trying to find out what the facts are, I'm sorry, those are different things. Yes, you can criticize the spin and how these media things report that. That being said, again, they're not real, they are similar. It's like how being a fry cook and being a sandwich artist are similar, right? Like, one person makes the food, the other constructs it into an edible form. They are similar, but they are not the same thing. That is my main criticism here at this
point. That's what you do. I watch your segments. There's a lot of preparation that goes into them. You kind of...
Jimmy Dore famously admitted on a pre-stream that he was not recording and he did not air with someone else that they recorded and aired, that he never Googles anything. He didn't know who Kyle Rittenhouse was. We're not talking about 8 months ago. We're talking about maybe 2 months ago, maybe a month ago. Jimmy Dore never heard of Kyle Rittenhouse. Who is that? Who is it? Boogaloo Boys. Kyle Rittenhouse. What is that? I've never heard of that. So now Glenn Greenwald is again... And the reason I say this is not because I personally want people to respect Glenn Greenwald. I want people to hate Glenn Greenwald. That is my personal political ideology. I want people to see what Glenn Greenwald really is and to criticize him heavily and dislike him for what he says. He is anti-trans. He dislikes bisexual people. Who does that? Glenn Greenwald does, right? But Glenn Greenwald he does have a body of work that is impressive. And that is a factual statement. So when I say that, right, I want to use that in a way to disarm people from thinking that his really good body of work is indicative of him as a person. It is not the case. There's a lot of people that do good things that are horrible people personally. So again, I want to be very clear about that. But Glenn Greenwald is using the fact that he does have that very established body of work. He is using that to lend credence to Jimmy Dore, who does no work. He's not an investigative reporter. He's a fucking shithead talk show host. Now again, if people watch Jimmy Dore for entertainment, fine. If you're just watching someone for entertainment value, that's all well and good. You don't have to believe everything they say if they're entertaining. Great, right? But again, he's trying to lend his credence as an investigative journalist to make other people think Jimmy Dore is, again, an investigative journalist, a freedom fighter, someone on the front lines of the information war or something.
There's no evidence to believe. And that's what you do. I watch your segments. There's a lot of preparation that goes into them. You kind of, you dissect.
Notice how Glenn is struggling. Glenn is and look at Jimmy Dore. Jimmy's smiling. He's like, look at me, I'm Jimmy. Woo, my guest is doing exactly what they came here for. Woo, let me rub my hands together. Right? But notice how Glenn is wow, man, I started this sentence and I really wish I knew how to end it because, okay, he's good at, he's good. All right, he's good.
You kind of you dissect individual paragraphs, you show where the propaganda is, and for me your show really does do more journalism than 90% of the people who work in these digital media outlets who call themselves journalists.
So when does Jimmy Dore call people? When does he get facts? When is he doing Freedom of Information Act requests? What the fuck? He's not a journalist. What is this bizarre conflation with journalism and talk show? I am not a journalist. I am a talk show person. I have a talk show. I get on a camera, I read other people's journalism and dissect that into a consumable format. They are not the same thing. I am not going out there on a fact-finding quest, trying to find out what's going on with the water supply and fucking whatever the fuck. That's not me. That's not what I do. Now, some people do both journalism and punditry. Some people do that. That is not me. That is not Jimmy Dore. And that is Glenn Greenwald. And again, that's what I said. Glenn Greenwald does have a relatively impressive body of work. But as a pundit, he's garbage. He's disgusting. He's a personally reprehensible clown who's always wrong on almost everything. Right? So, and that's what you have to have that distinction. I think, personally. Maybe you do. But again, the conflation of that. And Glenn Greenwald, again, having that impressive body of work and using that and leveraging that credibility to conflate those two things to say, yes, Jimmy Dore, he's not only is he a journalist, but he is the greatest journalist in the history of journalists. He's a great journalist. Jimmy Dore, a journalist. No, I'm serious. And not only is he a journalist, he's a great one. He's amazing.
Percent of the people who work in these digital media outlets who call themselves journalists. I learn more watching a segment of your show about some news item than I do reading the bullshit that they spew out. Half the time they're not even talking about news anyway, but even when they are, it's just regurgitating.
Also, who's they? This is the other thing that these people do, is they love to have the mysterious they. They're always criticizing someone. They. Like who? Like the New York Times writes one bad article, and again, I hate the New York Times, right? But the New York Times writes one bad article, and now all of a sudden, they are so bad. I learn more watching a segment on your show than I do from them. Like, who's they? What? Like, is they everyone besides Jimmy Dore? So Jimmy Dore versus the world? Who the hell is they?
Regurgitation of what all their friends in media are saying without a molecule of critical thought being devoted to it.
Look at this guy's face. He doesn't even need to say anything before this clip ends.
Learn more.
Look at this.
Look
at his face.
A segment of your show about some news
the narcissism. Look at it.
And I do reading the bullshit that they spew
out. See his eyes widen, his smile widening. Anyway, he's excited. He knows this interview is going spectacularly. He knows when he looks at the stream analytics page that his super chats are going to be heavily higher than they are normally. He knows that his shares, his likes are going to be higher. He knows that this is good shit. He knows that this is going to get on Twitter. He knows people are going to talk about this. He knows that he's getting what he wanted here. Jimmy Dore got Glenn Greenwald on to talk about how great Jimmy Dore is for journalism, when I don't think Jimmy Dore has ever done any journalism. He is a self-professed stand-up comedian who does a talk show host. He's never described himself as a journalist until recently. And now all of a sudden, he's not only a journalist, but the greatest journalist who's ever lived? What? I just what? Doesn't make any fucking sense. And so both of these people are clowns. So I just wanted to be very upfront with that. And again, he does a better show while high. Well, guess what, motherfucker? You're not the only one, Jimbo. Thank you for watching. Dore's super chats are paid for by right-wing think tanks. I would be shocked if they weren't. I mean, at least a sizable percentage. And I would say sizable being at least 25%. And quantity and frequency, not amount. I should specify. All my homies hate Jimmy Dore. Yo, I hate this motherfucker. I mean, like, he's really bad. Like, again, it's God, it's horrendous shit. And, like, Glenn Greenwald is just, like, horrible. Like, he's just such a, like, now that the segment's over, like, let me tell you what I really think. Glenn Greenwald is just horrible. Like, the guy is so bad, man. Like, he's just so bad. Fuck me. So, if that wasn't... Everyone brace for impact here again, I know. If that wasn't bad enough, if listening to Jimmy Dore speak on my show for, God knows how long, 10 minutes, wasn't bad enough, then I've got a double dip. So, Ryan Knight, who's extremely funny, not intentionally, but unintentionally, and those are the best kind of people that are funny, is going at it again. So this is the Proud Socialist, folks. This is the guy that's got how many followers? 360,000. He's got a lot of followers, folks. People pay attention to what this guy says. So this guy said yesterday, y'all owe Jimmy Dore an apology. He was 1,000% right about AOC. Now I don't know what this is referencing, but honestly, I don't care. Like, if someone wants to find what this is referencing and send me a DM, that's fine. I'll cover it in the segment if you're fast enough. But, like, this is so goddamn hilarious. Like, and this is what I want to talk about in this video is the alternate worlds philosophy. Is, right, this is how people online create a fan base. Especially in the political scene, is in any scene. I used to be a video game streamer. I've done all kinds of different content. A lot of just what people do when they create content online, right? In communities, in gatherings, in groups, in organizations, what they do is they try to create factions based on the interpretation of facts, right? So, like, for example, like, look at the Stop the Steal thing, right? Donald Trump said the election was stolen, right? Now, there's going to be a percentage of his followers and people that voted for him who say that didn't happen. They're off the ship. They're done, right? But the people who genuinely do believe that the election was stolen, who genuinely do interpret the facts as that alternative fashion, right? They're hooked. And the way Trump acted in that instance is, oh, these people will believe that the election was stolen. They'll believe anything. And that's basically what Jimmy Dore has been doing. That's his little project that he's been festering on for, like, let's be honest, the last year or so. But it's gained a lot of attention over the last, 4 or 5 months with the force the vote bullshit, right? So what he is doing is he's building an alternative set of facts. People that perceive the world in a different fashion, right? And so, like, for example, this came in with the CARES vote, the CARES Act vote. Jimmy Dore and all his fan base and his ilk and the people that surround him, you know what they do? They say that AOC advocated and supported the CARES Act and voted for it, when she is documented on record vociferously against the CARES Act. They just claim that she voted for it. Because if you'll believe that AOC voted for something she profoundly was vociferously against, if you believe that, you'll believe anything, right? And so if you believe that she voted for something she didn't vote, why won't you believe that they could force the vote and get Medicare for all tomorrow? Like, I debated Nico House, one of the people in this little circle, and he told me in that debate, right, that AOC could have gotten, not only could she have gotten Medicare for all, she could have gotten a Green New Deal. All of this passed, not only the House, the Senate, but signed by Joe Biden. All of this could have happened if AOC and the squad forced the vote and withheld their speakership thing on January 3rd or something. They all believed an alternate world where AOC had infinite power and she made the choice not to use it. Now, again, that is interpreting reality in a different fashion. So once that interpretation of reality was put out there into the world, the next segment of their ability to create a cult was to have other people basically, over time, slowly build around that premise, right? So AOC says something that people disagree with slightly. Well, that falls into the fact that she could have forced the vote and she chose not to. She's a corporatist sellout. So they try to tie everything that happens in the real world back to that fictitious fantasy beginning, the mythological origin story, right? And that's how they get people to build this bizarre hatred of AOC, who is one of, if not the most left-wing members of Congress in the United States. Now, again, she's maybe top 5 for sure, right? But again, they're trying to build an anti-AOC ostensibly from the left angle because, again, Bernie Sanders almost became president 2 times. There's a lot of people with a lot of money, and I'm just shitballing here. I'm a conspiracy theorist right now. You got me, folks. But there's a lot of people out there with a lot of money that are saying that they want to prevent a Bernie Sanders figure from ever arising again. Bernie almost won. They had to do some crazy shit in 2016 and in 2020 to stop that motherfucker from becoming president. And they won. They got that shit done both times. And they see AOC as a potential torchbearer for that movement. And they want to try to bake into the cake a leftist critique of AOC that it doesn't need to be all-encompassing. All it needs to do is peck off 10%, 15%, 20%, if they're lucky. But really, all it needs to be is 10 to 15%. Peck that off, and that's all you need for these people to never win an election. That being the left in the electoral, area of the United States political discourse, right? And now again, you don't see Jimmy Dore advocating for direct action. You don't see Ryan Knight advocating for direct action. You don't see all these people, like, they claim to be communists. Look, Ryan Knight's got a hammer and sickle in his thing. He's calling himself a socialist. He's not going out there advocating for, mass strikes. He's really only advocating for a general strike, which is it's not possible at this current moment in time. He's going out there advocating against socialist organizations like the DSA. He does not want to build real socialist power, dual power. He wants to focus on electoralism, Jimmy Dore and all those other people too, focus on electoralism all the time, but in how it's useless. Without if you want to say electoralism is useless, hell yes. Right there with you, buddy. Let's go organize a fucking strike. Let's go do a union drive. Let's go do something else. Let's go try to, volunteer at a food bank. Let's do all that other shit, right? But these people aren't doing that. They're advocating, or they're basically trying to amass a lot of clout on the internet and drive a wedge in people that have similar belief structures to create a belief in a fantasy world that has the ultimate effect, the real world effect of reducing AOC and the squad's power in Congress and being able to enact any sort of legislation, right? So that's what my little conspiracy theory is on the Ryan Knight, Jimmy Dore fucking troika or whatever the fuck. It's a disaster. It's all a big clout shark game. All these people are trying to reach to the top. And the net result that they've got is weakening the left in the United States. And so shout outs to them, man. They're really doing a good job. And apparently that tweet stems from AOC, referring to one of them as Highway Patrol or some shit. Who cares? Who cares? I mean, who fucking gives a shit? And that's another thing with main character syndrome, is these motherfuckers, anything AOC says is all about them. If AOC ever issues any sort of vague comment about critics, it's all you're the critic. It's because I wrote that message to AOC that one time that she tweeted 6 months later. Yes, it's all me. It's all main character syndrome at the end of the day here. And that's why, again, even with me, never have heroes, folks. Never worship people. Now, again, I say you should worship people, right? The ego of me says that you should worship people, right? My career says that you should worship me, but I would be lying to you in some way if I said you should worship me. Now, again, I'm pretty good, don't get me wrong, but never have heroes, folks. Never get, never start believing a lie because someone else said so. Always do your due diligence. Always do your own research because it's extremely valuable and important. So that's what I'm going to say. Because, again, the people that follow these people, they don't do their own research. They just Ryan Knight said it must be true. Jimmy Dore said it must be true. Whatever. Torrential rage, whatever. It doesn't matter. I worship you, my goddess. Thank you, thank you. But, folks, I've got more. So apparently, Secular Talk, Mr. Secular Talk, fellow ski, is up to no good. So that's going to be my last segment today. I'm punching down, folks. All these multimillionaires I'm going after. I don't know if Kyle's a multimillionaire. He seems like he's a little closer to zero than he is to $1 million, but maybe not. I don't know. Let me look at Secular Talk's Patreon. I'm just curious. I mean, how much money is this guy raking in? Should I refer to him as a multimillionaire? I don't know. $12,000 a month. Okay. All right. Interesting. I mean, that's a hefty sum, but I don't know if that's enough to be a millionaire. But that's a lot of fucking money, though. And that's just his Patreon. I don't know. Maybe this guy is... Give him a couple more years. Maybe he'll be a millionaire, but we'll see. Anyway, got a couple of these clips from this guy. So Now, again, I have not watched these clips yet. They were sent to me this morning, so I don't know exactly what they say, but the captions are interesting, so bear that in mind. What is my opinion on Kim Iverson? Well, Kim Iverson emailed me and came into my stream a couple times when I got demonetized during this big YouTube purge, and we talked about that for a little bit. So I'd never heard of her before that. I literally in my entire life never heard of her before that, and this was like 2 months ago. And then when she came in to my stream, like afterward or whatever, like everyone started linking me shit about her and how she's like basically this weird Convo Couch, Gray Zone adjacent like user that like peddles and Trump conspiracy theories but tries to pretend to be a leftist. So I don't know much about that person at all. I'd be willing to have a conversation with or about her if someone sends me. If you want to send me a clip of her show and one of like something of her saying something ridiculous, I'll consider covering it on my show if you want me to. So, like, I'm open to that. I'm down to criticize any YouTuber on this platform, especially ones that have more followers than me. So, I'm down and open to do all of that. Called Mussolini a leftist. Well, that's certainly pretty interesting. Yo, dude, that fucking vape made me fucked up. So I apologize if my last segment today is not at 100%. But I am fucking blasted right now. I got some really strong indica strain recently, and holy mackerel. Not today, Mark. Sorry, not today, but maybe tomorrow. I don't think so either, Anastasia. I would not say that they're all in the same exact category, but they're all like the same side of a coin, if you see what I mean. Anyway, let's get on with this next segment. So, Kyle Kulinski, host of Secular Talk, a fellow ski. I am also a ski person. We have similar ancestry, so I just want to be very upfront with this. You know, I don't want to sit here and criticize Mr. Kyle here, but a couple of my viewers, and by a couple I mean like probably 3, have been requesting me cover some of this guy's recent videos. He's not been sending his best recently, to my understanding. And so these 2 clips are from yesterday by Matthew Dimitri on Twitter, and I'm going to cover them. They seem to be at odds with each other, and they seem to be a little bizarre. So I'm going to start with this one. Secular Talk attacks AOC for noting that Ted Cruz incited violence against her at the Capitol push. You need to not use that language of, oh, all my colleagues on the right are irredeemable deplorables. And okay, so this is Secular Talk, Kyle saying something at one point. I don't know the date of these clips. I'm just talking about them as I receive them. So please understand.
Like the $2,000 checks, there were a number of Republicans who supported the $2,000 checks.
It sounds like it's maybe a couple months ago. You can work with people on the
populist right on trade policy because they say, okay, we...
So Kyle also believes in the myth of the populist right. That is a very nefarious mythological creation that never existed, never has existed, that a lot of people push because, let's be honest, they don't read into things too much. So let me be very clear here. There is no such thing as the populist right. It doesn't exist. To be populist, you need to be in favor of the people, right? If you are... again, if you are a white person and you believe in white supremacy and you believe in, let's say, cisgender supremacy, you hate trans people, let's say you believe in straight supremacy, you hate gay people, right? Can you consider yourself a populist just because you think you should be able to have a medical insurance paid for? That doesn't make you a populist, right? If you believe in climate change but you are a racist, does that make you a populist? No, right? So the idea that there's a populist right it's completely a mythological creation. It doesn't exist. And so I just want to be very clear here at the get-go. So Kyle Kulinski is peddling some fake news here.
On trade policy, because they say, okay, we want to increase U.S. manufacturing, and so we want to stop outsourcing jobs. You could work with them on stuff like that. So you can form alliances on very specific issues with different factions of the right. On some economic stuff, there's a handful of populist right people you could work with, and along with a number of people on the left who will work with you on that. And on, again, war, so foreign policy, civil liberties, the drug war, you can work with the libertarian right people who agree with you on that. And again, a number of people on the left as well. So that's one way of doing it. The bipartisanship on your terms, that would, and Ro Khanna has proven that this is effective.
There's a whole bunch of Gish Gallop.
The whole Yemen thing that used the language of, oh, they want me killed, and they're...
So basically what he's saying is you should try to be open with Republicans on things that you think that they can work with you with, instead of just, saying no to them at all times. Now, from my understanding and for what people have told me, this video is the exact opposite of that belief when it comes to Democrats. So, he's saying all this stuff in favor of working with Republicans, but then he's going to change his tune when it comes to working with Democrats. So that's where it seems to be the problem with this analysis. But there's a little bit of Gish Gallop here.
But you need to be clear and specific, and don't be vituperative and over the top and hyperbolic and unnecessarily dramatic. And unfortunately, I think that's what AOC does all the time.
So what he is saying here is that AOC is being hyperbolic and unnecessarily dramatic when, again, an event occurred that 5 people died during. Now, again, there is a different reading of a major event when you read about it after the fact and when you experience it in real time. Now, for example, I don't know what Kyle was doing on January 6th. I was live streaming the whole day. I did a 16-hour live stream on January 6th up until 2, 3 a.m. And so when they got into the Capitol, there were parts of me that thought that, wow, this is going to get really bad. There's going to be a massacre going on. They might kill people of Congress. I was genuinely worried about what I was watching. Right now, if you, let's say you're looking on Twitter, scrolling through, and that's how you experience it, and then you do other stuff, and you come back to it later, and then you say, oh, it's all ready now. Right? If that's your experience with that, you'll see it's a less severe situation, right? But in real time, it looked like there were going to be a lot of people that were in a lot of injury, right? And so AOC being in that building, being afraid for her life, to claim that that's hyperbolic or dramatic, I'm sorry, man, but it's just it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
So she's ineffective. Nobody really likes her there. Now, some of that you can blame on them, of course, but some of that you got to look in the mirror. So that's one way to get stuff done. The other way to get stuff done is the strategy that is even more, impossible for Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and other people on the left, and it's honestly pathetic, but it's true. Copy the Tea Party approach. So it should be Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
So again, this is another strategy that he likes to postulate that I disagree with. The Tea Party, the only reason that had any sort of anything whatsoever is, again, 1, Koch brothers. 2, they agreed with all the actual agenda items that the Republicans do. And 3, it was all just words. It was just saying words to get elected and then doing the same thing the other Republicans do. That was literally the whole thing with the Tea Party, right? So it's I'm sorry, it's a bad analogy. It's just a bad analogy.
There's Ro Khanna, Rashida Tlaib, Pramila Jayapal, Mark Pocan, Raul Grajava. There should be a block, Ilhan Omar, of a dozen left-wing Congress people who are willing to hold bills hostage and who are willing to play, aggressive politics.
So, again, work with the right. Republicans, team up at all costs. Now, again, I say, yeah, there could be a strategy where you work up with Republicans, but I also say there could be a strategy where you work up with Democrats, and that's far more likely to occur. And so now let's watch this clip about how AOC keeps capitulating. She's a bad leader because she keeps working with Democrats.
Of course, you don't really believe the things that you claimed you believed in. And that ultimately, the higher goal for you is climbing within the party. And I don't want that to be the case. But reading a story like this, it's hard to not conclude that. Because there should be no scenario wherein Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez donates to Democrats who are against the left's main policy.
So now my position on the the Politico piece that came out that was another one of those wedge issues. Like, if you believe that AOC is a sellout, you're going to believe that she is bad. If you believe AOC is not a sellout, you're going to believe, hey, well, maybe that there's a good reason. So my personal position is that, do I like AOC all the time? No, she's wrong in a lot of things, especially on foreign policy is her weakest, but she has a lot of bad instincts too and a lot of good instincts. She's an elected official though at the end of the day, so it's like, who cares if I like her, right? But, when it comes to donating to centrists, right, she refuses to donate to the DCCC. So she does, in an effort to not get Democrats to hate her and block all of her legislation and amendments, as well as the squad, right, she donates specifically to what she refers to as frontline Democrats, those that could lose their seats to Republicans. Now, yes, are frontline blue dog Democrats annoying as hell? Absolutely. But guess what? I am a trans person, right? And recently, there were a lot of trans-related things that got put up to a vote in the House and in the Senate. And guess what? On those things, Republicans all voted to basically legislate my existence out of the United States, legislate my ability to get health care out of the United States. All the Republicans voted for that. Some of the Democrats did, but on average, the Democrats did not. So for me personally, as far as my personal most important issue, right, Democrat, I don't give a fuck, right? They could be like the most ridiculous to the right economically Democrat in the world, but if they vote in favor of social issues, that affects my life, and that's valuable to me. So that's something you need to understand to not be a class reductionist. That being said, again, the strategy for AOC is to donate to these people and then get people to have to publicly ally with her or publicly go against her. And what that does is it makes the lines clearer. It makes it so that, oh, well, Connor Lamb just got money and returned it to AOC. People in Connor Lamb's district then should call him and say, hey, why did you do that? AOC is a great ally. Why are you being so publicly against AOC? That's what you should do. That's the step 2 of that, right? But to Kyle Kulinski, working with Democrats, that's bad. Working with Republicans, that's great. Do it, though. You got to work with Ted Cruz on everything. But when you work with Democrats...
policies. So, again, completely unacceptable. She's really giving a lot of ammo to her left-wing...
And I want to be explicit here. I don't think Kyle Kulinski is as bad as Jimmy Dore. I think Kyle Kulinski is, for the most part, he's, I think, got good instincts. But he is someone who's very easily manipulated by the people in his filter bubble. And he's got a lot of these really bizarro motherfuckers in his filter bubble. And he's also very ignorant on a lot of key issues. Again, like queer issues, like, women's issues, that kind of stuff. He's very ignorant on a lot of that stuff, and he doesn't have a desire to learn. So I don't think he's nefarious. I don't think he's a bad actor. I don't think he's evil-spirited. But he's not that bright. And I say that with all due respect. And he's in a really obnoxious filter bubble.
Critics here, for sure. For sure. Do I think there are some criticisms of her that are completely unfair? I do. But any criticism over this is absolutely fair. It's absolutely fair. You're donating to people who are ideological enemies within the party. If there is a democratic civil war going on, and there is, you're taking the side of the enemy in that battle. You're taking the side of the corporatists. Why would you donate money to them? You should be launching attacks against them. Using public pressure.
So again, this is another strategy to get attacks launched. Remember, where did the term the squad come from? Right. It came from when Nancy Pelosi and the top Democrats were attacking AOC, Ilhan Omar, especially Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib and Ayanna Pressley over things when they were, fresh women members of Congress back in the early early bits of 2019, right? Then the term the squad started because people wanted a way, a shorthand to identify those 4 members of Congress. That's how the term the squad started, from getting attacked by centrists. So what AOC is doing here is a strategy to get attacked by centrists, and the centrists attacked her. They fell for it. And if we had a unified left wing, right, that was actually relatively intelligent in the media sphere, they would be Kyle would be using his fan base of 1 million subscribers or however many he has to tell people, if you're in Connor Lamb's district, call Connor Lamb's office and say, why are you going against AOC? Why do you hate AOC? Do you hate Medicare for all? My mom died. That's what you would be advocating for. That's what I'm advocating for. That's what you'd be advocating for with your nearly million subscribers. So this is what this is. It's a deflationary tactic to defeat the power of online left movements. That's all what these filter bubbles are designed to do, is to make people disappointed. Why do you think this is such a bad idea? If you're promoting the idea of a democratic civil war, why are you antagonizing AOC making the good first shot? This is a great first shot. AOC gives an olive branch, gives centrists money, and the centrists spit in her face. That could be the perfect spark for a democratic civil war. But Kyle's just going to say AOC loses at the get-go? What?
Pressure campaigns to get them to fall in line behind our popular policies. And this is not that. It's not even close to that. Oh my God. It really is depressing, man. This makes me depressed. What has happened to her? $160,000 to establishment Democrats, and they spit in your face anyway and embarrass you anyway. Tell you, I don't want your money.
And again, Kyle of 2018-17, when he was founding Justice Democrats, you know what he would be saying in that era? He would be saying that that's where they fight. But now, right, 2021, Jimmy Dorified, Crystal Ballified, which, by the way, Crystal Ball followed me on Twitter. When are you going to watch my show, Crystal? I'm very critical of you. I'd love to have a conversation. All right. But, like, you know, now that he's in this headspace where everything AOC does has to be bad in some capacity, he's convinced himself that, seed power all the time, always lose. This is no longer the strategical thinker he was when he founded Justice Democrats. Because a lot of people say, that a lot of people will pump up Kyle's ego and say, he founded Justice Democrats, look at him. Well, if he did, he would be, like, if that was the Kyle that we're talking to right now, he would be advocating to fight at every step. Not to cry and say that AOC is the worst thing ever and we need to start from scratch and all of my followers to just hate AOC instead of calling Connor Lamb. You know, that's the kind of shit. It's deflationary, it's nihilistic, and it's just, I don't know, it's a little embarrassing. Like, come on, Kyle. Like, come on, man. Come on.
She's really not a great leader.
Get your words straight, Jack.
And a great leader for the moment. She's just not. She's running around like a chicken with her head cut off. She gets disrespected by the establishment of Nancy Pelosi, and then she falls in line and tries to get them back on her side. There is no insider game that you're going to win, AOC. You're going to get crushed in the insider game.
Now, again, I would like to say that this analysis is the same analysis I would apply to them working with Republicans. Now, I want to be there. I want to say that. I do not support AOC working with Ted Cruz on stuff because I don't trust that Ted Cruz is going into, in the end, do what he says he is going to do. I don't trust him as an honest actor. So when Kyle Kulinski is going out there saying AOC needs to team up with the right on everything, do you really think the right wing is going to pass a bill that's good for trans people, that's good for non-white people? You really think that that's going to happen? You really think that they're going to pass a bill that's good for poor people? That, you know, like, are, like, not in their means-tested specific areas that they want to help out? Come on now. So I would like to say that this analysis that he has toward AOC for working inside of Democratic politics should be applied to Republican Party politics. Now, again, I think that this is a good strategy. Let the centrists throw the first punch. Great idea. And I think so far it's been working. But, again, Kyle Kulinski, Jimmy Dore, Crystal Ball, they all want to tell you that, nah. Nope, she's wrong all the time.
Specialty. That's what they're good at. The only way you win is doing the outsider game, the public pressure campaign game, the activist game. You should want all of them to be your enemies, and you should wear that as a badge of honor. Instead...
Again, giving them money? Oh, I'm being so nice to you and you spit in my face. That's a great call to action. If I got an email, right, from fucking a newsletter or an AOC campaign that said, look at what they did. Like, they spit in our face after we tried to reach out to them, proving that working with them is impossible. Let's organize to call their offices. Like, that's what they should be doing, and that's what in a lot of instances they are doing. But Kyle could be doing that, but he's not. Sorry, and I'm done with this clip. But anyway, I just wanted to get that critique out there. I don't think Kyle Kulinski's canceled. I think he's salvageable. I think we can reach our arms into the ocean and pull him out if we possibly had the ability to do so. I think he's got a good instinct for the most part, but he is surrounded by a bunch of people that are so fucking pessimistic, so deflationary, so nihilistic, And it's honestly a little embarrassing at this point because he's not being that much of an independent thinker. And that's my problem with that. But again, praising the idea of working with the right, working with the centrists, terrible, evil, awesome, or awful. I don't know, man. It's weird. It's strange. It's just, it's weird, man. It's interesting. I mean, it's certainly interesting, but yeah. But yeah, anyway, that's my show today. Thank you for watching. Good take. Thank you. If anyone has anything they want to say, let me know now, because I have to pee, so I'm going to stop the stream in like less than 5 minutes. And yeah, so I just want to say, if you want to link me, like download a clip of us, download a clip of someone saying something stupid in a left-wing media space. Get it, send it to me. I'll consider watching it. I don't necessarily want to look at their actual YouTube video. It's a little bit more tenable if it's like a clip on Twitter, just for the sake of come on, it's optics here. But yeah, I'm down to criticize anybody if I genuinely would want to criticize them. I'm not going to criticize someone if I actually agree with what they're saying, but but yeah, so I gotta pee. Thank y'all for watching. I appreciate it, and thank y'all for signing up on Patreon, which you should do. Thank you all for giving me money on Cash App and other such things. It means a lot. And I appreciate everyone for helping me out with the super chats and all that. JL, you gave me a super chat during one of the segments, so I want to say thank you for that as well. Yeah, pretty cool. So thank you.
Get your words straight, Jack.
Everybody comes in your grandmother here. Everybody comes in your grandmother here. Everybody comes in your grandmother here. Father, your mother, your brother, your cousins. They come in so easily, so crazy. So crazy.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by go. You know the thing.
I hate the white man. He's of the devil. He was made in a cave in the worst parts of Europe, produced from the lowest forms of humanity.
Did you use the word smart? So you said you went to Delaware State, but you forgot the name of your college. You didn't go to Delaware State. You graduated either the lowest or almost the lowest in your class. Don't ever use the word smart with me. Don't ever use that word.
Oh, give me a break.
Because you know what? There's nothing smart about you, Joe.
And he's like this, and we were, I need water, help me, I need water, help. And he's, this is on live television. $7 million for reef fish management. $25 million to combat Asian carp. $2.5 million to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico. They had a very bad original concept. It was carried out poorly, and the cover-up was one of the worst in the history of cover-ups. Very simple. Bad deal, should have never been thought of. Somebody really messed up.
But you have to go home now. But you have to go home now. But you have to go home now.
The good news is, for me, I'm here. The bad news for you is, I'm coming back.